The Apollo Go is really one of the most beloved scooters we've ever built. It's portable, easy to ride, and remarkably capable for its size. The original 36-volt Go is staying exactly as is for riders who love its lightweight and compact feel. But many riders wanted more torque, more range, and more headroom without giving up the Go's form factor. We introduced the Apollo Go Stellar, the 48-volt edition. Alright, as you can see, we are starting to assemble the Go 2026. This is the first day, and already, as usual, we're facing a couple of issues, so we're gonna walk you through them. You can see here we have this beautiful new Bosch motor. I love them. There is a couple of issues. The first one being the battery. So the battery on this one is a 48 volt, 13.5 amp hour. And it's a little bit too big, so it's not fitting properly inside the new deck. So we already CNC'd part of the deck here, and we kept a little ledge. We need to CNC that completely to be able to fit. As you can see here, I'm trying to close the cover, and there's a little gap that just makes it impossible. So this is what it looks like now that we remove the extra meat to be able to close the lid. Obviously on the production unit it's going to be much cleaner, but for the sake of time, this is how the beta production is going to be looking like. Inside the deck, it looks like this. So we still kept some channel to be able to run the wires inside. So the battery is going to go fit on top and the wires are going to be fine. But you can see it's a really tight fit, so we need to CNC it a bit better. That's the first issue, pretty easy to do. We have a ton of CNC machines, so we're lucky we're able to fix it probably within a day. The other issue that we see is concerning the direction tube. This is the old direction tube that we have here, and this is a new one. You can see it looks the same, but it's completely different. On this one, we take a bigger pipe that we crushed a bit to make this part a little bit smaller with the thread. And then we CNC this, so we still have the benefit of the big pipe on this side, but the outer diameter stays the same, versus this one that this is the original pipe that we just crimp and there's no CNC here. So you end up with the inside of this part being a little bit thinner than this. So again, it's complicated. It's going to be worth it in the end, but for now, for the beta production, we're going to go with the good old one. And for the official production, we're going to aim to use this upgraded one. Another thing about tolerances is the charging port. On this new Apollo Go, we had to change the charging port because of UL certification. We can no longer use the round one. We need to start using a 3-prong one like this, which is not as great as before, to be honest. But it offers a bit more flexibility if we want to put a smart BMS that is going to talk with the charger. We have the third pin for communication, so it's future-proof in a way. All that to say, we had to reopen this cover here, the little plastic mold that comes with it. So we open our own, so it's a little bit bigger, better now, but it's not fitting properly when we close it. The little gasket we have here doesn't fit inside all the time. So if you really take your time, it's gonna fit and lock, but most of the time it's just gonna bounce. So we're gonna need to change that as well. Probably move the gasket around here, so when you close it, there's no interference with this, but rather with the whole surface of the charging port. So a little other annoying thing. So as you can see, we barely assembled the first unit, and there's already a bunch of those issues, but that's why we do the beta production and the testing on the rig, to be able to catch these before you buy 5 or 10,000 of these parts and you realize it doesn't fit. So it just shows that it's so worth it to do those trips. So far we are facing two issues. The first one is the wire that's being routed for the new rear light on the fender is rubbing on the tire. We put the easy plug connector there to make it easy to remove, and funny enough, that's what is causing this issue. So we're gonna find a quick way to fix it. And the second issue is the motor is not tight enough. So when we accelerate and decelerate, it's shifting within the swing arm, so you can hear a knocking sound. So we're looking if it's the tolerances or just a torque issue. We're now reassembling it, and we're gonna take it for a ride. All right, so we finally have the first unit of the production floor. It took a while to get it, to tweak it and get it right to run. So now we have the old Apollo Go here at 100% battery, and we have the new Apollo Go at 70% battery. And we're gonna be testing them side by side so you can see the difference in acceleration and speed, but also lights. So let's go. And to show you the difference in headlights between the two. So this is the old Apollo Go next to the new one. You can see the light brighter, adjustable as well. So shine further or closer, you can adjust it. And even when it's closer, it is definitely brighter on the ground. So we're gonna go side by side. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, now we're switching. There's a difference of 15 kilos between both of us. So now the new one is closer to the camera. 1, 2, 3, go. All right. Damn. Damn. So you can see a pretty good difference between the two. Again, I am 15 kilos more and I'm on the old one. So now we're gonna do the same thing and I'm gonna be on the new one. So as you can see, the new one is much faster. Even when we switch on it, again, I'm 15 kilos more, I'm still ahead of the old one. He said he reached 54 kilometers an hour. Oh, that's pretty good. So that's it for the day. I'm gonna see you tomorrow to see how the rest of the production is going.
Crack.
All right, one of the other thing we noticed yesterday is that it's getting hot extremely quickly, the controller. And as you know, it's not the first time we do a 48 volt controller. We have the Apollo City, which is 48 volt and the same discharge. So we're basically able to fit the City controller inside the Go. So that gives you an idea of the raw power of it. But on the City, it doesn't overheat. And this is the main reason. On the City, we have a heat sink at the back to be able to dissipate the heat faster. And the reason why we didn't put it on the Apollo Go Stellar is that we put this controller directly against the frame and we thought that this would be enough to dissipate the heat, but it looks like we really need something with this pattern to be able to dissipate it more efficiently. So we're gonna add this to the controller and we're gonna go back to testing tomorrow to see if it really improves it. And ideally it's gonna cool it much faster and it's not gonna even allow it to reach such high temperature so quickly. All right, so today we received the new orange plate, which you can see here, it looks very good. This is a new plate that we're gonna have on our entire lineup that's gonna go complement the new grip tape extremely well, in my opinion. But while we're doing this, we discovered a new issue, which is the direction bearing here. It's very tight. It's not supposed to be like that. Even with just a little pressure at the top, a little bit of torque, it still feels too stiff. And just to give you an idea, this is a new type of bearing we use now. So there are those conic bearing that we used originally on the Apollo Pro, then the Apollo Phantom 2.0, and we decided to put it on the Go because this is the best of the best. I think right now we have an hypothesis that this feels too tight because of the direction tube issue we had before. As you know, we tried to reinforce it. It didn't work, so we went back to the old one, but it looks like the tolerance are a bit off of the old one versus the new one to be able to fit this bearing with the old one. So we're reworking this part here. So soon we're gonna receive the version 2 of the new stronger one and we're gonna see what it feels like. We suspect that this is the issue because on this one we have the new reinforced one that is not really reinforced right now, but we can feel that it feels great. When we turn it here, it feels as it should versus this one that has the new bearing but the old direction tube. It's a bit stiffer. And this one is the worst of them. It just feels off, you know? It should not like have so much restriction moving left to right. It should be butter smooth like this, even more so now that we invested in those fancy bearings. Another day, another issue, but you can see at least we're starting to get them out of the production line and we're finally able to ride them. So, all right, another issue that we saw is that we have those new type of buzzers on the scooters, which should offer a much louder beeping sound, so it's easier to hear when you have your turning signal or when you add Apple Find My. We noticed that on some some unit it's not as loud as other units, so we came here to try to demonstrate this better. So you can see this one is much louder. So we're getting there, but there are still some few kinks to figure out before we roll them out of the production line. So there you have it. As you can see, the scooter looks beautiful. The addition of those new lights just really enhanced the already beautiful design of the Apple logo. Let us know down in the comment below if you like this new version of the Go, and also which production video you would like to see next. I'm heading back to China in 2 months for the final production and also for the beta production of the new Apollo City 2.0 Stellar Edition. So stay tuned and I'll see you in the next video.